The only group I did not thank is my staff, who have worked very hard. You don't understand some of the problems that the staff has to undergo. To make things work, the staff has to toil, sometimes all night. I really, really thank the staff very much for being flexible, jumping at everything, getting out of their role and then bring it back together. Thank you, staff. You know, there are times when we are concerned mainly about development. And even though others are there in the development, we mainly think about ourselves and our own development. We are kind of selfish people. But reading and studying Ruth's life, I see a kind of revelation that comes to me. She was not just concerned about herself, but she was concerned about her companion. And this morning I want to share with you on the topic of the art of achieving group success. We were born as a group. Do you know that? You couldn't born if it wasn't a group. Well, tell me yes. You live that way. And we say no man lives unto himself. But we sometimes forget that. So let's look at the art of achieving group success. The first attitude, the first thing that I want to bring to your attention in achieving group success is the word diligence. The word diligence. Diligence. When Ruth and Naomi left where they were and to go to a new land, they left as a group and they kept together as a group. Before I say anything else, I wish that we would recognize the group to which we belong, especially our family and the church, because you can't achieve success without the group. The word diligence means, I just remind you, the word diligence means hard-working, persevering, and industrious. Hard-working, persevering, and industrious. For us to achieve success, all of us have to be hardworking, persevering, and industrious. After the deaths of their loved ones, Ruth and Naomi made a new start at life in migrating to Bethlehem. You know the story. Most of you remember it. That they left where they were and they moved to Bethlehem to look for success. Some of us can relate to the situation which prompted us on our decision to migrate. Just think for a while on your decision to migrate. What prompted you? I'm sure it was success. You desire success. That is what Ruth and Naomi desired as they migrated to Bethlehem. Of course, Naomi was from Bethlehem. But what I'm saying, they both decide to migrate. Ruth, acknowledging her responsibility in this partnership, grasped at the first opportunity. They had success in their minds. But Ruth grasped at the first opportunity. She demonstrated a passion for success. Ruth demonstrated a passion for success. Sometimes, what we need is a little passion, a little pepper, little thing to stir us to achieve success. Ruth 2, verse 17. Let's read. Let's read. Ruth, so she gleaned in the field until evening. Pause a little. She gleaned or collected barley in the field until evening. She's achieved and she wants to achieve success. And I suppose all of us this morning want to achieve success, whether in health or financially. She gleaned in the field until evening and beat out what she had gleaned. And it was about an ephah of barley. That's about a gallon. What we are saying is that she collected about a gallon of barley. My friends, God has made us with the power of choice. God has made us with the power of choice and flexibility. We can allow ourselves to go with the flow. We can allow ourselves to go with the flow, or be proactive about our future. You have migrated. You have come to seek success. Can allow yourself to go with the flow, or you can be proactive about your future. Proactive about why you came. Ruth understood why she went to Bethlehem. And she was proactive in achieving success. Word proactive means active. She was active. She was seeking success. When we are committed to a joint exercise, whether it be marriage, the church, or a club, or whatever, each member must be aware of that success comes through involvement of each person. Let me say it again. When you are committed to whether the church, a family, a club, or whatever, you must be aware that your personal involvement is important. Some people sit back, take it easy, while others are toiling all night. That is not the way to achieve success as a group. The group must be conscious. Everyone must be conscious of their responsibility to the group. And so, my friends, you can indicate your interest in the group by words or work. Or sometimes they say, I can't do anything. But even give encouragement to those who are doing. You may not have the skill to work. But if you fail to work, you're not interested. Work can be expressed or work can be done. Everyone has a responsibility and it can be done even if you are handicapped. Even if you are handicapped, I'm talking about your responsibility in your home. Young people, I'm talking about your responsibility in your house. You have a responsibility because that group that is involved. Your desire for group success will be demonstrated in the nature of your attitude. Your attitude expresses your interest. And so, my friends, Ruth, she accepted the fact that her sacrifice would help to provide an honest means of survival for both of them. Remember, they went to a strange land. God has said strange. Because though Naomi belonged there, but it's a long time she left. And so they must realize that coming back means they've got to put their shoulders to the wheel. Your desire for group success will be demonstrated in the nature of your attitude. And I don't know, some young people tend to think, Mama must do it. Papa must do it. I must sit back and relax because I am beautiful. My friends, it does not make sense for you to be beautiful if you are not dutiful. This act showed concern and diligence necessary for success. The act of combined effort shows that's the way to go. If you're going to achieve success as a member of a group, hands up those who are not members of any group. It's impossible. It's impossible for you to exist without being a member of a group. I wouldn't ask you how many of you are conscious of your responsibility to the group. I wouldn't ask that. I wouldn't ask how many are doing your part to fulfill the requirements for group success. She did not allow her beauty to affect her duty. She did not allow her future prospect, because all of us have, especially young people, have a prospect in the future. But she did not allow that prospect to affect her immediate contribution. You see, you can be looking out, but you have to look in. Because unless you look in, there is no out. You have to look into yourself. To walk, friends, to walk, you've got to put your first foot forward. First foot forward. The second will follow. But unless you lift up the first one, there is no following for you. What I'm talking about, friends, is that we must have a sense of commitment to the future and move toward that by looking at all it takes for me to do what I have to do. So you're looking at the degree which is future. But what about your immediate? Like washing the dishes. Like learning to cook. Some of you are beautiful. But ability less in the kitchen. You know, it's amazing. People don't even go to the kitchen. But let me tell you something. In the future, after you get your degree, you're going to look a gentleman or a wife. No matter how him tell you, darling, dear sweetie pie. If you don't know how to wash a handkerchief, his handkerchief, his shirt, the love is going to kind of wade. You know, am I talking the truth? It's going to be weighed, you know, because sometimes you don't see beauty, you see duty. You know, both of you, whether man or woman, you've got to follow that up with commitment to service. Ruth committed. Ruth was committed to that. To walk, she decided to put my foot forward. Don't forget how I look. Forget my circumstances, and I am going to face the future with commitment. And so Boaz observed Ruth and gave orders that she should be protected. She should be protected and allowed to gather whatever fruit she wanted without embarrassment. Ruth was seen. Her attitude was seen by Boaz, who was the big boss. And he gave orders for all these guys to protect her and for her to gather what she wanted. Read Ruth 2, verses 15 and 16. And when she rose up to glean or gather, Boaz commanded his young men, saying, let her glean among the sheaves, and don't reproach her. You see, my friends, when people see your willingness to work, you will get assistance in what you do. You don't know. People are watching you. People are watching you, young people. And many of us are in schools and colleges because of scholarships. Somebody is expecting, and you get the opportunity, do it with all your heart. And not just at school, but do it at home. I don't know, but some young people, when they finish school, they don't even come home and say hi to mama. They finish, they're gone. Don't forget your past. Don't forget your past. Your past solidifies your present. So when we are committed to God and have a good intention towards your future and others' future, be assured the Spirit of God will be available to give wisdom in our decision and strength in our actions. When you are committed to it, God will see you through. He who has begun a good work in you will cause it to be accomplished. But remember, I said, it's not how you look, not what you wear. It's who you are and what you do. And who motivates you for doing what you do? It is obvious that the God in whom Ruth and Naomi trusted was motivating them to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Remember, friends, they went to Bethlehem. They don't know anybody. Naomi forgets what she knew about Bethlehem. And Ruth didn't know anybody. But her display, her attitude, her actions is what is going to sell her. You know, my friends, I don't know. I don't know how far to go in this. But you know, there are some people out there who are selling their bodies. But church people can't sell their bodies. Church people sell their attitude, their action. That's what God sees. That's what Boaz saw. And that's why Boaz was standing up for Ruth. Boaz, a big man. Ruth, a little nothing. But he saw her. He saw what she was. And he was supporting it without her up to this time, she didn't realize what was going on. My friends, but Ruth and Naomi, because of their attitude, Ruth led Naomi to see light at the end of the tunnel. There is light for you. But Jesus Christ must be that light. Sometimes the way we take appears to be difficult. Sometimes the way is dark. But keep your connection with God clear. And be diligent and wise in your pursuit of life. He will encourage us to press on. God will encourage us to press on. When God sees what you have in you, He sees your potential, and He sees your commitment to His will, and His will drives your potential. You can press on, and you're going to be encouraged to press on. There are many people who don't have anything. Well, I reflect on my parents who encouraged us to press on. There were 7 of us kids. And I don't know how they do it with meager resources. But one thing my mother gave me, my mother in particular, and my father, gave me the will to go on. My friends, all you need is your commitment to God. And God will encourage you to press on. Even if you fail an exam or whatever. Even if you don't have money to buy you this and buy that and do what you have to do. Look, my friend, press on with Jesus Christ. Press on with Him. If Christ is in the vessel, we are going to smile at the storm. Some of us have gone through difficulties. But thank God we can say, hallelujah. It has been changed. It has been changed. When Jesus comes in, a change will come. You know, Job said in Job chapter 23 and verse 10. Look, Job 23 and verse 10. Let's read it. He knows the way that I take. And when He has tested me, because sometimes it's a test you're going through, you know. A battle you're going through. When He has tested me, I shall come forth as pure gold. Ruth was conscious of that. And Naomi was there. And you can see the little girl led the group because she was strong in her faith and commitment to God. And so, my friends, be diligent in your achievement. Be diligent in your pursuit. Pursue the future with commitment to work and worth and morality and decency. Commit yourself to that. The other point I want to raise, not only was there diligence on the part of these two ladies, but they were devoted to each other. So I'm saying to you, if you're going to pursue as a group, you must be devoted to your companionship. Devoted to your companionship. You can belong to a group and one work this and one work that. But if you are devoted to each other, both of you will do it. And some of the homes, I'm talking to the homes, I'm talking to groups, talking to the church, talking to the family, I'm talking to even your friendship. You must be devoted. The word devoted means very dedicated, loyal, and faithfulness. When we speak about loyalty and faithfulness, we think that we're only talking about the home, husband and wife. Be loyal to your job. Be faithful to your job. Commitment to your job. And even though the supervisor may not be so pretty in behavior and worth and work, you don't necessarily have to follow the attitude of your supervisor. Just do your work. Just do your work. Because you can't change her necessarily. But when you are changed, when Jesus Christ works